This is Fan First Network.
Honest first thoughts after that loss.
I said it to him too. Like, listen, everybody is going to sit here and say, like, criticize the Raptors and sort of say, you know, that was a terrible loss. But listen, are we beating Milwaukee in 7 games? No. Are we beating Miami in Miami? Probably not. So let's be honest, we're in the lottery tonight. At the end of the day, every single fan here, all they got was an entertaining game, right? Where they got to see a close game that came down to the wire and they lost. I have no issues with that. We're not a playoff team, let's be honest. Like, we're not, right? So I understand people's frustration, but from a basketball perspective, this is probably best case. That's how I feel.
I appreciate the honesty because you're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and like honestly, like what actually cost this game was clearly the free throws. Free throws were not there this game. But in hindsight, like right now, everyone's frustrated because we're like, oh man, the Raps lost. Like we suck, everything. But like Akash said, like. We suck.
What, you want
but
honestly, you want to go home and then, you want to go home and then play Milwaukee in 7 games. Let's be honest, where we're at in our sort of development of players.
We've got a decent shot at top 10. We've got a really good shot at top 10.
How much faith do you guys have in this team moving forward? Do you think we're here to compete? Do you think we need to rebuild a bit? What are your guys' thoughts?
So I think there's absolutely a couple pieces that we need to move around. I think, unfortunately, Gary Trent's been a bit of a stickler on my own end. He's had that injury though, and I believe he hasn't fully recovered from the injury. And while he struggled, I don't fully blame it on him. I blame that more on his injury. I think Scotty is clearly the future of our team. Siakam right now, he's 28, 29 now. So you guys keep building with him. And I personally believe that Fred VanVleet, while he is, a good player, I don't believe he's a pure point guard. He's never been a pure point guard. When we won the championship season, he was a shooting guard, and then we moved him in this position hoping that he'd be fill-in, and I just don't think he's filled in. I know that the Raptors made an offer for a trade to the Clippers, and I think it was a Trey Man and a first for Freddie, and honestly, I'd have been so happy if we made that trade. We're both Fred VanVleet, I don't want to say haters, but we both believe that we need to move on from Freddie. He's the player that we need to move on for. We need a true point guard right now. That's the biggest issue with the Raptors. I think the big game, I don't think is actually as big of a problem as we believe it is, because most of our players are over 6'3", if not 6'5" or taller. But that's my
Thoughts on the rebuild?
Well, no, I think, first of all, I think you ask a lot of questions. Why don't you tell me what you think?
Okay, thank you. Personally, I agree with everything he was saying. I'm a bit of an optimistic Raptors fan. I agree that we weren't supposed to be at this place that we're in right now, especially with the way the season was going down. And I wasn't surprised seeing us collapse in the fourth, because that's like what the Raptors do. So, this edition of the Raptors
version,
yes. So, moving forward, I have faith in the team. I don't think we should blow it up. I think that we're going to be here to compete. You mentioned Scotty being a face for the future. Personally, even though I kind of blame Nick Nurse a little bit for this collapse, because of how often it's happened throughout the season, it's clearly something going on there. I would still back Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse. But I would still back him moving forward. Follow us on Fan First Network. We just get the honest reactions of fans all over Toronto. Maple Leafs, Raptors, Blue Jays, TFC. Meet us outside the stadium.
This is Fan First Network.